Hey guys, Devin Morgan from Colorado Pain Care Physical Therapy here. Today we're going to talk about headaches, how they're often caused for people that have desk jobs, talk about a couple positions, walk through what muscles may be doing to cause some headaches, and then we'll go over a couple stretches and possible treatments for you, ways to test yourself out and see if you can relieve some headaches on your own before seeking help. So Alex here is going to get in the position we typically catch people working at a computer. Not the best posture. She has a rounded lower back, her shoulders are rounded forward, and her head is far forward from her shoulders. Ideally, we have her head aligned over her shoulders, but this is what everyone does after you've been at the computer for 2 minutes. You just slowly drift into the screen. So as she holds this position here, can we move a little bit of your hair out of the way? Cool. Perfect. So as she holds this position here, we have several groups of muscles that are having to do extra work because of the position she's maintaining. So with the head forward in this sense, her upper traps, muscles on top of her shoulders all through here, and her levator scapulae, which is another muscle that runs underneath the trapezius, run from the top of your shoulder blades up to the base of your skull. These muscles have to work overtime because as you extend your head further and further forward, those muscles have to generate 3 to 5 times the force they normally do to maintain your posture. So by sitting like this, she's making her skull weigh 5 times at least what it normally would. And then go ahead and assume a proper posture again. Sitting in this position, these muscles are at ease at this point. They have to generate minimal force to maintain this posture because you're not holding your head from falling forward. Go ahead and go forward again. The other thing that can happen when someone's holding this posture is our tiny suboccipital muscles right at the base of our skull shorten to hold our head up as the rest of our spine is forward. If she were to relax those suboccipital muscles, her head would tip forward like this and she wouldn't be able to see her screen. So someone sitting with a forward head posture, go ahead and look back up, has to contract those tiny muscles in order to keep their head from dropping forward and be able to see what they're doing. As we hold this position over time, those muscles are getting a little bit more fatigued and a little more fatigued as time goes on. Same thing for the upper trap muscles and everything lining the top of your shoulders connecting to your skull. As these muscles fatigue, they can often develop trigger points and definitely a lot of tension. Over time, as these trigger points get worse, we can start to develop a headache that feels like it starts at the back of our skull and climb up the back of our skull and over the top of our head. We call that a ram's horn headache. When someone's experiencing those, it's typically coming from the muscles across the top of the shoulder. Sitting with a proper posture is the easiest way to relieve this, but as many of you find out by trying to adjust your posture, it's hard to pay attention to that when you start getting back to work. It's easy to adjust your posture and hold it for 5 seconds, but as soon as you're distracted, we tend to fall back in our old positions. So if we can't control our posture, we're going to come up with some ways to relieve the tension. In our next video, we'll be going over some stretches to relieve all of this.